Looking for these better days.
It is Wednesday, April 8th. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's what you need to know to make today a better day. Another tanking parlay cashes in the NBA, and it's Masters Week. That's right. Brad Thomas will join us to give his best bets and preview of what we can expect this week at Augusta. Mackenzie Rivers, though, joins me now on this episode of Better Day, presented by FanDuel. And Mackenzie, another night for the double-digit favorites in the NBA, beating up on the bad teams. Really no shockers when it comes to what we expected to see last night with these heavy spreads.
No, and it's been the theme of the season, especially the second half of the season. And, being meticulous for the best numbers as we are, it's difficult to recommend parlays knowing that at different shops you can get different numbers. But the real brave and correct play this whole second half was just lay minus 200, minus 300, minus 500 on all these games that we think it's kind of decided before the game starts, and it comes in.
Yeah, and, shout out to, I believe it is Judd in our Better Day community chat who has been on this as well. When the Jazz lose, if they play before the Kings, then you just jump on the Kings to lose because those two teams are battling for positioning with the lottery, right? They're both tied.
More lottery balls.
Yeah, they're trying to get more lottery balls on each other. So after the Pelicans blow out the Jazz, you can just pencil in the Warriors to blow out the Kings. And it's happening every night now. Thankfully, Mackenzie, or should I say mercifully, the regular season ends on Sunday.
Exactly. And there is some trends to take advantage of the last day or two of the regular season. And then there's some better trends to take advantage of because we know why we bet to watch the games, some interest, and the playoffs are right around the corner.
Yep. Last night, the Celtics come from behind to defeat the Hornets 113-102. I thought the Hornets would be a good play yesterday, and after the first half and really into the third quarter, I thought, all right, this is still a good play. But then the Celtics pull away in the fourth quarter. They win and they cover. Lonzo Ball had 36 points, but with the loss now, Mackenzie, the Orlando Magic and the Charlotte Hornets are now, the Orlando Magic are now a half game up on the Charlotte Hornets for the 8th seed in that battle for the 8-9.
And it's the tale of two seasons because the Hornets, especially if they get the 8th seed, will have doubled their win total and beaten everybody's expectation and coach of the year candidate starting next year. Or you're the Magic, you have the exact same record, and you probably fire your coach unless you somehow win a first-round playoff series, which is unlikely.
Yes. Let's take a look at the schedule for tonight in the NBA, and let's talk about those Orlando Magic who will host the Minnesota Timberwolves. And up on FanDuel right now, Mackenzie, the Magic 5.5-point favorites. It didn't work out last night with the Hornets, but I kind of want to back these teams playing with desperation right now.
The line is suspicious, though. They are not significantly better than the Timberwolves, meaning the market is pricing in the Timberwolves potentially not playing people or not playing with full intensity down the stretch. Yeah, I think it's a factor. You got to make sure the price is right.
Okay. The Spurs, 3.5-point favorites at home over the Trailblazers. Is this a wait and see on Victor Wembanyama status before placing a bet?
I think I don't mind laying it now, and if Wemby plays, it's a bonus, but they should cover that number, Wemby or not, the way they're playing.
Yeah, MRI returned clean. He avoided any serious injury, but he is officially...
Don't bury the headline. How many games to qualify for the awards?
Just needs to play 20 minutes in one game.
All right.
He's got 3 games left.
This could be the night. You're going to tell your grandchildren, I remember when Wemby qualified for the 2025-2026 season awards.
I remember the night that Wemby qualified.
There he comes right now through the tunnel.
Yes.
He's going to come into the court.
I remember it like it was yesterday. Victor Wembanyama played 21 minutes and qualified for the All-NBA team. Is he All-NBA first team?
Yes. The All-NBA first team, I think, can be a proxy for the best players in the world, and that's him at center, Jokic, you move to power forward. I think everybody's cool with that. Giannis didn't play enough games, so we throw Kawhi Leonard on there, and then you got Luka and SGA.
So you're thinking Wemby,
Jokic,
Shea,
Kawhi Leonard,
and you say
Luka.
Kawhi and Luka.
Yes.
Ooh.
Am I missing anybody? LeBron's not on it, right? We don't think.
Anthony Edwards? No.
Anthony Edwards gets a lot of buzz. None of the metrics say he's that great.
Okay.
And his team's like 6th. I am saying if he wasn't the best dunker / best crossover guy in the NBA, there wouldn't be a lot of support for him being in the top 5 over Luka, SGA, or Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard just on paper is just better in every statistic. More efficient, scores more points.
You're right. Defense. You're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. And maybe I'm not putting enough respect on Kawhi's name because he has been tremendous.
He qualified. What else does he have to do? He played. His one thing that he didn't do, he did this year.
No, you're right. You're right. He qualifies. What about tonight? Both the Thunder and the Clippers playing on the second of a back-to-back and line up on FanDuel. Thunder 6.5-point road favorites.
I think this is an easy handicap. Both these teams on the second night of a back-to-back, both with pretty easy wins. What system is designed to keep it going? What system is designed to pump the brakes? I think the Thunder, even if 3 of their best players don't play, their backups are playing better than the Clippers' backups right now.
Okay, that is fair, Mackenzie Rivers. All right, that'll wrap up the NBA conversation. Let's talk Major League Baseball, where the Toronto Blue Jays system did not come through. They lose to the Dodgers 4-1. This team is just in a world of trouble right now. They have no offense whatsoever. They're losing players to the IL. They've now lost 6 straight games, and I don't know if there's an end in sight. Today would be a day where you're like, oh, they're going to avoid the sweep at home. This is a team that lost 3 straight games as favorites to the Chicago White Sox. Now 3 straight games as dogs to the Dodgers. All of a sudden, I'm going to think that they're going to avoid the sweep today, Mackenzie. I think that the Blue Jays right now have to be on our do not bet list.
Offensively, yeah. It doesn't seem like they can score any runs. Maybe their team total under.
Break up the Colorado Rockies. 3 straight wins for the Rockies, the team with the lowest win total in Major League Baseball this year.
Don't get any prospects. Don't ever win games for 10 years, and then boom.
They are 5-6 and in second place in the National League West standings. This team is just...
Hey, that's a tough division. That's a real tough division.
This team is it right now. Do we bet against the Rockies, though, here today? No way they sweep the Houston Astros, right?
You would think not. Who's on the mound? Who's on the bump? Who's our streak breaker?
So
for the Astros? I'll be looking to bet them.
Yeah. All right. So here's your pitching matchup for today. Christian Javier will go for the Astros and Michael Lorenzen on the mound for the Colorado Rockies. Astros minus 163 up on FanDuel.
Yeah, I think you take them. What do you think? I think you take the Stros here.
I think you do too, but yeah, especially Michael Lorenzen. Both of these pitchers are ridiculous. Javier's got a 12.96 ERA, and Lorenzen's got a 14.73 ERA. So both of them have not gotten off to good starts here this season.
Has it been an over season so far? A lot of these ERAs are astronomical.
Yeah. That pitching matchup, by the way, for the Dodgers and the Blue Jays, it's Shohei Ohtani on the mound for the Dodgers and Dylan Cease for the Jays. Elsewhere on the schedule for today, you got Michael King going for the Padres against the Pirates and Mitch Keller. The Royals take on the Guardians, Cole Reagans for KC, and Joey Cantillo for Cleveland. Brewers are at the Red Sox. How about the Red Sox getting a win yesterday? Patrick on the mound for the Brewers. Sonny Gray goes for Boston. Kyle Bradish on the mound for the Orioles in Chicago against Sean Burke and the White Sox. Brian Woo on the mound for the Mariners. Mackenzie Gore goes for the Texas Rangers. Phillies at the Giants. Aaron Nola for Philadelphia. Tyler Mahle for San Francisco. Cardinals at the Nationals. McGreevy on the mound for the Cardinals. Or for the Cardinals. Miles Michaelis, former Cardinal, going for the Nationals. Ooh, is it the revenge spot here for Miles Michaelis?
Whether it's Robinho going back to Real Madrid or whomever, I like betting teams. I like betting players go back to their former teams. Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Okay. The Braves are at the Angels. Holmes on the mound for the Braves and Reed Detmers for the Angels. Diamondbacks at the Mets. Ryan Nelson for Arizona. David Peterson goes for New York. Colin Ray on the mound for the Cubs. Joey Boyle goes for the Rays in Tampa. Reds at the Marlins. Brady Singer for the Reds. Yuri Perez for Miami. Luis Severino. Here's another chance, Mackenzie, to go against your former team. Luis Severino on the mound for the A's in the Bronx against the Yankees. And Will Warren. Do you dare take the A's at plus 160?
That's the thing. You got to be playing for a team versus your former team. It just can't be like an exhibition outfit that you bring to the Bronx. No, I'm not betting the A's with your money.
The A's are 1-6 away from Sacramento so far this season. And finally, the Tigers at the Twins. Framber Valdez for the Tigers. Bailey Ober goes for the Minnesota Twins. On the ice tonight in the NHL, just a small 3-game schedule. Sabres at the Rangers, Capitals at the Maple Leafs, Oilers visit the San Jose Sharks. Well, it is Masters Week, Mackenzie, and we are now going to get the best bets and the preview.
Rory repeat? That sounds good. That sounds good to me. It's alliterative. I like that.
Hey, if you like it, Mackenzie, you can certainly bet it up on FanDuel at plus 1,300. But Brad Thomas joins us next to break down the action at Augusta. And joining us now to talk Masters, he is our very own golf expert, Brad Thomas, who you can check out now on Sportsline. Congratulations, Brad, for the job there at Sportsline. We can't wait to see you on our televisions and across all of our social media platforms as well. But what are you most looking forward to here at Augusta this week? And I want to be sure that we actually say things the right way, because I know there's a whole bunch of rules about what we have to say, the terminology we have to use here with the Masters.
Oh yeah, the rules are absolutely, I don't want to say hilarious because I don't want it to have a bad connotation, but you definitely catch yourself. Even someone like me, I've been doing this since 2015 and I still find myself slipping up. I'll be on a show and I'm like, oh, it's a second cut. It's not the rough. It's groupings, not threesomes, I'm most looking forward to just having the best golfers in the world playing together. The problem that we have in modern day golf is the divide that LIV and the PGA Tour have, right? We get the opportunity to have Bryson DeChambeau, Jon Rahm, Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, all on the same course, all playing at a pristine golf course. That's what I'm looking forward to the most, without a doubt.
Well, let's take a look at the odds courtesy of our friends over at the FanDuel Sportsbook. Scotty Scheffler, no surprise, is your overwhelming favorite at plus 550. Bryson DeChambeau is your second favorite at 10-1, as well as Jon Rahm, also 10-1. We have Rory McIlroy, 13-1, Xander Schauffele, 13-1, and then Ludwig Oberg is at 18-1. So the first name on this list that might not be one of the more popular names to the fringe golf fan. You see what I did there? I used a golf term to talk about the average golf fan there, Brad. Fringe. But for those of us that bet golf know that Ludwig Oberg has been a cash cow in a lot of these tournaments over the past year or so. What do you think about his value here at Augusta? And what do you make of the current odds structure right now as it currently presents itself up on FanDuel?
It's funny that you brought up Oberg as the first golfer in this list, because, when you work for the PGA Tour and CBS, you kind of have to toe the line of being funny, but also not being disrespectful. And I do think some of the comments that I've made about Oberg were towing that line pretty heavy, because, at the end of the day, the bar is set so high for Oberg now that when he has those Sunday scaries, it's easy to poke fun of, because we expect him to be in contention to actually win. But if you just look at what he's done in his last 3 starts, T3 at the API Arnold Palmer Invitational, T5 at the Players, and T5 at Valero Texas Open, in contention, all 3 of those tournaments, didn't get the job done. It's really scary to bet Oberg at 16-1. But I want to make sure this is loud and clear and everyone can hear, because Augusta National is one of the most predictive golf courses in all of golf. And what that means is skill set translates often. The numbers, the metrics are easy to kind of determine who's going to be the winner. And Oberg, believe it or not, is first in the field in strokes gained per round at Augusta. That's first. That's better than second place Scotty Scheffler, better than third place Jordan Spieth, fourth place Jon Rahm, Colin Morikawa, and the list goes on. I just said some insanely wicked good names. Yeah. And I think with Oberg's struggles in the last couple of Sundays, people don't want to bet him, and that number might be scary for some. But the dude has all of the talent in the world, right? What does he do well? He hits fairways. He hits it long enough to where it's an advantage that he's hitting fairways. but he also can make birdies and bunches while avoiding bogeys. And for Oberg, the time's going to come that he's going to win eventually. And I don't know if it's going to be this week, but you
Yeah.
can't sit here and say he has all of these tools, the stats back him up, and the recent finishes back it up, and he's a bad price at this number. I think Oberg is a really good price at 18 to 1. I personally did not bet him, but I did bet him top 10 because I think no matter what happens with Oberg on Sunday, he will find a way to be in some kind of contention, whether he's standing on the 15th tee with the lead or he's battling, grinding it out, trying to post a score and let one of the leaders come into the clubhouse and beat him. I think Oberg is going to be one of those guys that's going to be inside the top 10.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about a couple of things here with Oberg. So he's plus 140 up on FanDuel to finish top 10. I like that, especially you get any plus money price on a guy that we think is going to be in contention or possibly in contention. I do think we get a great price there on the top 10 finish at plus 140. But I was going to ask you because you mentioned his metrics play out really well here at Augusta, better than the rest of the field, but yet we're concerned about his ability to finish. What about a 20 to 1 price on Oberg first round leader?
I don't hate the first round leader price on Oberg at all, right? He okay. Without getting like too crazy into the metrics and what first round leaders look for, he doesn't have a lot of spike rounds at Augusta. Granted, he's only played 8 rounds there, but none of those were the 66 variety, is which I really kind of look for when I'm doing first round leader at Augusta. But if you just want to talk about sheer strokes gain data, in the first round of the 2025 Masters tournament, he gained 5.6 strokes to the field in the first round. And then in the second round of the 2024 Masters, he gained 6.1 strokes to the field. So I don't dislike him first round leader, but I think there's others kind of in that price range that have a little bit more win equity. We use that lightly because it's the first round leader, but equity in that market.
Brad, talk to me about the metrics and who really stands out. You mentioned Oberg, obviously ahead of Scotty Scheffler as far as maybe like green hitting the fairways, strokes gained. But when you're looking at Augusta specifically, who are the golfers that we should be highlighting here if we're building, whether it's a lineup for one of these contests or if we're just betting outrights or top 5s or top 10s?
Okay, so the name that probably everyone in the world is talking about and has absolutely crushed his price, Matthew Fitzpatrick. He's a name that you have to have in your lineup. I don't want to sit here and say you have to bet him at, I saw him as low as 18 to 1 in some shops, which I thought was crazy. 20 to 1, I think, is the consensus. I'm not saying you have to do that, but you have to find a way to roster him somehow. Him winning is kind of a stretch if you just want to go off trends, right? He doesn't have a top 5 finish at the Masters yet. Best finish being a T7 in 2016 where he had the Sunday of his life. But what he has done in the metrics that this guy puts together, it just jumps off the page, right? Won the Valspar, and I don't think a lot of people believed he was going to win the Valspar. Was leading late Sunday at the Players, and all he's done is put together incredible ball striking rounds. And I'm going to separate the two, approach and off the tee, just so I can tell you how insane these numbers are. At the Valspar, he gained 3.3 strokes off the tee. He gained another 5.9 on approach.
Oof.
At the Players, gained 3.4 off the tee. He gained another 4.6 on approach, right? And if you just talk about rankings, like tee degree play at Augusta, it's really important, right? It's almost more important than the scrambling and the putting because everyone's going to be having a tough time on those greens, right? That's just tournament wide. So I don't weight that as much. He's second in the field in the last 36 rounds, strokes gained tee to green. I'm talking about this is a guy who's 6 on approach. It's a guy who can bring his putter, plays par 5s really well, and he's picked up a ton of ball speed. So I think Fitzpatrick is a guy that you have to roster. If you're doing a pool, you have to put him in your pool as well.
Are there any props that you like this week, Brad? Anything that you're looking at from, tournament specials or, lowest round, bogey-free thing? And any props that you looked at across the market that intrigue you here coming up this week?
I'm going to go with this bet. And chalk wins at the Masters. Last year, we crushed the first round leader on Justin Rose, and that was chalk, right? Even though it was 80-1, he's had the second best strokes gain data in the first round of the Masters. Already had multiple first round leads at the Masters. I'm going back to another guy who's had multiple first round leads, and you could find this around 20-1. Bryson DeChambeau to finish first round leader. And I'm also going to back that up. You could play the each way market. I know a lot of people don't have access to that. So what I did was I just laddered his first round top 20. I did that with ties as my biggest bet, my base. It's around minus 120. Then I started to go first round top 10. I did that with ties as well. Then top 5, I didn't want ties because I feel if he's going to finish 2 or 3, I don't mind getting the chop if there's going to be ties with him. Bryson DeChambeau has the best first round data out of anybody not named Justin Rose in the field. He's already been first round leader here twice. And even one of his first round leaders was when he didn't really figure Augusta out. Well, over these last 2 years, he's been nothing but spectacular here. He was first round leader 2 years ago and T5 last year in the first round leader market. Bryson's game, it's starting to come to his own, right? The dude has won his last 2 starts on LIV and has just done nothing but just gain strokes all over the course. He's a legitimate threat to win basically any major he plays now. So why not go with him with such great first round data?
I like it. Bryson plus 1,700 up on FanDuel to be your first round leader. Brad, appreciate the time and the insight as always. We love your contributions. Look forward to any time you're able to join us. For anyone wanting to follow Brad, check him out on Twitter at Mr. Brad Thomas. Be sure to read his stuff, PGA.com, and of course, check him out on CBS Sportsline. Brad, talk to you soon, brother. Good luck with your bets.
Thanks for having me. Take care.
Always great to talk golf with Brad Thomas. Those are his bets, and we will track the first round coming up tomorrow. I can't believe the Masters is already here. And yes, we do have to be careful, Mackenzie, the way that we say certain things because of the rules with the Masters. The verbiage is different than in other golf tournaments. Are you aware of this?
It's the Ohio State Masters, right?
No, but seriously, like you can't say certain things that you would normally say on regular golf broadcasts.
You say break a leg, not good luck. That makes
Here's
sense.
what it is, real quick.
That's Macbeth.
Okay? You can't call it a golf course. It is Augusta National Golf Club.
Well, it's not a golf course. It's Augusta
It's a
National.
club.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Continue.
Now, there is no such thing as the 4th round of the tournament. It is the final round of the tournament. There's no such thing as a sand trap. You must call it a bunker. There is no such thing as a driving range, Mackenzie. It must be referred to as the tournament practice area.
Of course.
Naturally. How dare you say back 9? It's second 9, Mackenzie. The second 9, not the back 9.
I'm going to monitor the content around the Masters. I'm gonna catch people saying second 9 because I know people don't practice that, don't observe that, and I will be the one to find out.
The most important piece of broadcast terminology for the Masters. They are not fans. They are patrons.
They are patrons.
They are patrons.
They happen to if they look askance and see some golf, that's okay. They're observers, but they're patrons first, just on the grounds, having their snow cones or whatever they have there. Have you been to the Masters? I mean, it's a bucket list. Everybody says.
Of course. I have not, though. No, I have not been fortunate enough to go to Augusta. Maybe someday. We'll see. A reminder coming up later on today on our Better Day Twitter account and our Better Day YouTube page. Colby Marchio and Jake Hassan will have another episode of Off the Board, their podcast. Certainly, you can listen to it here on the Better Day podcast feed, but they'll be streaming live so you guys can interact with them while they do the show. Again, coming up today about 1 or 2 o'clock Eastern time around there. You guys can check it out again on the Better Day Twitter and YouTube page. Make sure you're following us on social media. And for Mackenzie Rivers, I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's hoping you make today and every day a better day.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.